Yes, now bless now. Do not forget the rest now. Des at King of the Pit TV. Search at Des Rocksteady. Let's talk music. Boom! First time listening to this. This is entitled Warning from the Black Sabbath record. Black Sabbath. Okay, I'm going through all of the tunes on this record. This is the longest one as of yet. 10 minutes 32. We're in for a ride. Let's see what we got in store. Cheers. Any comments regarding what I should check out? Do it. No worries. We're grooving. Somebody mentioned in a comment that the bass guitarist who may be called, I can't get that name right, is it Geezer Butler? Proper Geezer Mush? He just plugged straight into the box. He didn't use no amps. He just went straight into, is it called the PA? I don't know too much about the tech and all that. I'll let the producer deal with that. Let me know down below, because this sounds fuzzy to me. Might be a preamp or something. Is that what they're called? I don't think it is. Very poetic. Good bit of imagery there. Structurally, it's sound. Good lyrics. Little half rhyme there, not a full rhyme. He just rhymed care with another man. I think that was the case, wasn't it? But it worked. But the dynamic quietened ever so slightly there to make room for this little shred. Oh, the bluesy guitar just goes rampant on this record. Come on now, people. So there's so much guitar going on. Bluesy guitar. It's going to be improvised. These aren't going to be written guitar solos. The guitarist is just going to be on record. He'll say, press play. And he won't have got, well, if he got it first time, he's blown my hat off, because I'm a lead guitarist, right? And when I'm shredding a solo on a track, yeah, improvised. Dude, the thing is, right, guitarists know exactly what they want, whereas the people listening, spectators, producers, so on and so forth, they don't know what's coming. So it's all relatively pleasing, right? But as the guitarist, who's got everything fine-tuned in their head, if they just play a little, just a little of the wrong note they were expecting, even though it sounds right, it sounds wrong to them, and they feel like they've ruined it. Whereas the audience, just, or the pair of ears, they just don't know and don't care. You know, it's still a good experience. That was a little insight into my mind. I'm not much of a perfectionist either, but I know that's what it's like with like dropping lead guitars on a track and stuff, alright? But this is improvised, made up on the spot, for the most part. which I'll be quite controversial in saying. I also feel it's a little bit of a cop out when the majority of these songs are jams, as to where the guitar solo sections are just sort of made up in the studio. It feels like there's not it doesn't have the craftsmanship necessary to be a top tier classic record. You know where I'm coming from, right? It's like a frontman coming in to the studio and only writing lyrics there and then. It's just not good, in my opinion. Unless you were really creating a load of material, which is completely understandable. But if you're putting a record out every 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, take some time to make sure it's good, you know what I mean? Oh, you heard his vocal line there. Zorro grips my voice. Bah, bah, bah. Come on. Right, what I'm going to say, yeah, is I know... Well, this is only the first record. It might progress into something more and more as I continue listening to the albums. But I know why Sabbath have the hit songs they do, and songs like this don't necessarily get much shine, or at least to the generalized crowd, because I know a lot of people who, I like Black Sabbath, man, and they base, you know, they got the Black Sabbath back patches and their usernames are Black Sabbath based and all that, but you don't hear anything regarding them. Stuff like this, yeah, this jam sort of stuff that actually showcases the band. I think this is more of a accentuated look at the band and what they're into, as opposed to, like, you know, the cuts they do every once in a while, which end up being like crazy. Like, you know what, I'm not going to talk too much because obviously I don't know anything about the band, but I've listened to so much of this record now and I understand this band like jamming. This band like smoking a little twiff, getting together and jamming out. The lead guitar soloist, well, the guitar player in general, liked playing lead guitar. I know that. The bassist, quality, likes doing his own thing, don't like to follow. And the drummer, the amount of fills they've got coming in and out of there, bit of a virtuoso themselves, right? This is an acquired taste. This is an acquired taste. Black Sabbath are still very huge to this day, but I'd be very surprised if the majority of their fan base give a crap about stuff like this. And I don't say that to be condescending. It's just, it is an acquired taste. Me, at this point in my life, I wouldn't go out of my way to listen to this sort of jam heavy stuff. I like a good melody, a good hook, and I like to get in and out of a song, you know what I mean? I don't know many people who'd listen to a 10-minute song. Yet Black Sabbath are as big as ever. So them hit songs Sabbath have put out have been so appealing and have stood the test of time to such a high degree and such a high regard, and the brand of Black Sabbath has been so important that it's overwritten the potential sort of niche market they could have had. With a sound like this, they could have just only been a very cult niche act. But instead they have been formed into the timeless sort of monarchy of what we know as alternate music. A little bit of a ramble, but this is Warning by Black Sabbath. That lick there I've heard before in Black Sabbath songs. As I've mentioned, I am a guitarist, so I know how easy it is when playing lead guitar to subconsciously, at the very least, return back to them familiar shapes and patterns, especially with the muscle memory sort of aspect of things. We know we can play that, we feel comfortable playing that, it's been tried and tested, we know it's going to sound good, and we will resort to doing so. And especially when you've got a solo, which is like bonkers, and it goes on for years on end. And if anything, the guitar solo goes from track one to track end by the seams of things on this record. Gonna be a little bit of a rehash of some of the same licks. I've heard that lick before, and I think it might be on. You know what? Oh, I think that lick might be on Communication Breakdown by Led Zeppelin. I think it's a Jimmy Page lick. I apologize. Yo, the guy's playing like Jimmy Page, I'm not gonna lie to you. I just went off on one for nothing then. I like this little palm mute, little groove now. Blues. Come on. Yeah, the bass is coming alive. The drummer is good, but honestly, I've not even been paid. The drummer has stood out in a lot of these tunes, but right now the drummer is just taking the complete background. I'm not paying attention to the drummer whatsoever, because these melodies and these licks and this relationship right now between the bassist and the guitarist is just taking the complete forefront. This is crazy, because in some of the metal tunes as of the past, I've said, when you know what I mean, these metal guitarists will throw a guitar solo in three quarters way through the song without fail each and every time for about 30 seconds, if that. Dude, there's so much guitar soloing right now. I don't even in this day and age, I don't even like guitar solos, I'm gonna be honest with you. We just need Ozzy doing a little bit of Robert Plant to match it up. Match up them solos. Better call and response. Who's got the biggest ego in Black Sabbath? You know, if most of Black Sabbath's riffs as a whole band sounded like that, jeez Louise, that'd be right on my street. That's quality riffing. Yo, this is gonna sound tight, but just before this, when he was just jamming out forever, I was gonna say if you wanted to hear something like this, just go down to your local guitar store and just wait around a minute. But not. I'll be honest with you, not many guitarists can jam out like he's jamming out right now. If this is improvised, which it very well could be, that's brilliant. Really good. I just want these drums to come back in and everyone start grooving again, man. Sounds like when you leave your window open at night and in the morning an annoying fly gets in, what they call a blue bottle, and he gets caught in the curtain. This is it coming by your ears. Come on. Yo, when Black Sabbath were playing live, Ozzy Osbourne probably had a 6-pack of drinks at the side of the stage. He'd just down every time there was some extensive solo. Bassist jamming once again. Sounds like he's playing with a pick though. Not finger style, right? Yo, I'll be honest with you, yeah? I'll talk about this when it's finished. 30 seconds, yeah?
Just a little bit too strong.
Cool, right. Stoner bands, doom bands, riff bands, all these bluesy rock and roll bands who are influenced by Sabbath and are like, Sabbath for my life, man. Black Sabbath, man. Hail to the riff, man. Smoke a little chuggy wongy, man. All of them sort of people, I'm starting to understand where they came from, right? Because I came up with Led Zeppelin, yeah, and I've done a lot of, I've made a lot of choices as a teenage kid. Well, was that yeah, early teenager? I made a lot of choices based on my love for Led Zeppelin, including getting into guitar, right? Playing blues guitar because of Jimmy Page and so on and so forth. I never listened to Black Sabbath back then, but them two bands to me are parallel. British, bluesy, rock bands. Yeah? Eh, Crazy jam sessions. The bands are full of characters. If I would have taken the Black Sabbath path and I listened to Sabbath instead of Led Zeppelin, I might be more into them riffy stoner bands. I might have bloody been in a band what just played riffs on riffs. But instead I was a Zeppelin head. Yeah, and I got sent off on a different route because they're so close yet so far apart. It's like the angel and the devil. I think Zeppelin and Sabbath are paired together as far as what I'm aware. Now, don't get me wrong. There's so many other bands that are like each other. Obviously, you know what I mean. They're not going to be completely unique, but as far as the degree as to how successful they were and how they stand in this day and age, I would pair them both together. Another pair, just whilst I'm passing, I would also say Good Charlotte and Busted. All right, but we'll leave that one for another time. I'm starting to understand why people like them stoner riffy doom bands and are in them bands and base their lifestyle and their aesthetic around the whole Sabbath thing. Because right now, listening to it, like this sort of stuff, it was a bit long. I'm not going to lie to you. But if I was in high school, against the norm, I don't want to listen to dance music. I don't fit in, blah, blah, blah. I'm a musician. I'm a creative man. And I heard a band like this, and I was listening to a band like this, checked out a band like this, I'd be into them. I'd be into this. And I would think I'd be so cool, yeah, to be into this sort of stuff. So I can understand why people move on and they have their root in this band and they delve off to do whichever offshoot or whichever project which may or may not be influenced by this, alright? That was my thoughts. That was Warning by Black Sabbath. It was essentially just a really long blues jam. Two verses, I believe it was two verses, which sort of mirrored each other from start to finish. I think they were the same lyrics, because Pink Floyd's Echoes also reflects that verse and then verse, but they're two different lyrical, incredible lyrics, by the way. If you've not listened to Echoes by Pink Floyd and you're a Black Sabbath fan, please do. Incredible. And that's me signing out. If anybody wants to leave a comment to anything I should check out, please feel free to do so. I'm signing out, people. Des, King of the Pit TV. No one's pitting to this, let's be fair, but it's good music. At Des Rocksteady, signing out.